This is Kandi Green Gonzalez. She was last seen June 1st, 2021 in the area of Abbott Creek Road in Prestonburg, Kentucky. She was wearing a pink one-piece romper type, almost looks like a bathing suit outfit. She has nothing at all with her. My understanding from reading about this story is perhaps her and her boyfriend got into an argument and she took off, or she was kicked out of her home. She ended up on the property of a couple and asked them to please call her mother. And they did, and I believe they either left a voicemail or they spoke to the mother. I'm not sure. There is video of that encounter in here, and you can see her kind of just go off down into what they say was a creek. As I look at the map for this, the creek looks much further away. I've also heard her shoes were found down by near the creek, and that the police said they've seen her footprints or handprints in the mud leading up away from the creek. The police have really dropped the ball here. You'll see that in the videos to come up. I'm going to play a video of her mother and her sister, as well as an update from the police, who are now doing searches 2 weeks later. But share, keep up with her story, keep her face out there. She has a 5-year-old child who I'm sure misses her very, very much.
For 14 days, the family of a missing woman has been searching tirelessly for their loved one. On June 1st, 36-year-old Kandi Green Gonzalez from Prestonsburg went missing after an altercation with her boyfriend. Since then, Gonzalez's mother, Betty Dixon, and her sister, Sue Abbott, have endeavored to bring their loved one home. However, help is still needed.
After a lot of phone calls were made, we did get emergency management out here. They were here Thursday and Friday of last week. Thursday, they had a few teams that were out on four-wheelers, ATVs, and stuff that did some searching. They came back the next day. We were told we were going to have multiple dogs looking. They did have one dog that came. They searched, and the dog followed some leads, and then after that, the dog needed to take a break, and the search was just over, and we were told that emergency management is not assisting any further.
Dixon adds that a private investigator from Harrodsburg has come to help. However, efforts to find Gonzalez were suspended after one dog was bit by a snake. Now, the family continues to ask the community for support.
And that's the big thing is, we don't know where she is. Everybody can make assumptions all they want, but we don't know. We don't know where she is. No one has seen her that's given us any information other than when she was at this home that where she was last seen.
If you have information leading to the discovery of Gonzalez, you can call 859-509-1488 or 859-619-9192. A 10,000.
What is your name? First name? Listen, I have your daughter.
Is that a truck camera? That's a truck camera. No, it's a truck camera in the tree, I think. Hell, I thought that was some woman you had by the
Hey, you guys, listen. Did you see me?
Yeah. Ethan said, help me. I said, you fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, but if I was...
I'm calling your mom for you. What the hell? I need you to get out of this yard or come talk to me. One of the two. Don't play on me. You are home or land. I need to understand lives. I need you not to mess with their crops. Here.
In an attempt to disabuse everyone of the misinformation that has been circulated, we are going to make this sole statement. First, my wife and I have never spoken to, seen, or before this even knew of Miss Gonzalez. Second, with hope that she would be found, we allowed everyone free access to the property in the days following her disappearance. Unfortunately, that access became abused by a constant flow of strangers rifling through our property, including mailbox, barn, vehicles, and even guest house. To date, not a single person has contacted us to request permission to access our property. After personal items began going missing and posts on social media became concerning, we regrettably were forced to restrict access to only those accompanied by or verified by law enforcement. It would be naive and dangerous of us to assume that everyone entering our property unannounced there is with good intent. It is our understanding of the following events leading up to Miss Gonzalez's disappearance are the following. Our sister-in-law was at our residence assisting a visiting disabled family member to load their car when a couple of teenage boys pulled into our driveway. The boys stated that they were landscaping at another home on Abbott Creek when an agitated Miss Gonzalez walked into the yard where they were working. The young men stated they tried to approach her to see if she needed help. Multiple times she walked away and circled back into the yard before walking off down the main road of Abbott Creek. The young men decided to drive ahead to see if they could help her. As they approached our address, they saw adults in the driveway and stopped to inform them of the situation. That is when Miss Gonzalez entered our front yard, spoke to no one, and continued through our gate into the backyard. The next few moments were somewhat chaotic, but Miss Gonzalez was approached by our sister-in-law and was offered help. We have seen the video exchange, and it is unfortunate that Miss Gonzalez did not remain on the property to wait for additional attempts to phone her mother. After Miss Gonzalez exited the property, the police were notified in another attempt to help Miss Gonzalez. I understand some people are upset by the comments made by one of the teenage boys. While I agree the crazy comment was insensitive, I would ask everyone to remember that these children were making a sincere attempt to help Miss Gonzalez, and the video is just a snapshot of what happened. As for the heated talk and threatening posts on social media concerning our property, the no trespassing signs, our family has over 100 years of law enforcement history, and we've made every effort to help authorities find Miss Gonzalez. We have prayed for and continue to pray for her safe return. Anyone wishing access to our property need only make appropriate arrangements. Anyone entering the property without law enforcement or without making arrangements can only assume to be having a criminal intention and will be approached as such. To those that have threatened to enter our property with a weapon and use force, I can only offer this advice. Find another way to help the Gonzalez family.
Efforts to find Kandi Green Gonzalez continue. Wednesday, the Floyd County Sheriff's Department announced that it would be conducting a large-scale search after 17 days of investigation. Wednesday, we spoke with Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt about their efforts.
Since then, it's been a search underway mostly by family and a lot of friends doing some searches, and until rescue squads and Kentucky State Police and some other search people got involved and have done some extensive searching a time or two since then. They've used cadaver dogs, tracking dogs, helicopters, drones, underwater drones, and then a man tracker. So there have been multiple resources put into these and a lot of effort into trying to find her. And now we are here again 16 days later into it, getting ready to put together another large-scale search and hope for some clues.
Since Gonzalez's disappearance, efforts have revealed clues. However, more resources are needed.
So on the man tracker, they think they feel like pretty certain they have tracked her going up a mountainside, and they've seen some evidence of maybe where a human had dug their feet into the ground or some hand claws into the ground climbing up a hill, and then they think they tracked that over the hill and it came out to where the road meets the grass or the hillside again, and from there they have no clue which way or what she might have done. They feel certain that that's a good track that that was her, and we just don't know when she made that track, if it what the first day or the third day or whatever. But so that's where we are now, and the Saturday we're putting together, like I said, a large-scale search of professional searchers. We're putting together all of our resources right now that we'll show back up on Saturday, and utilize a lot of resources again to cover some targeted areas, some specific areas, not just random going through people's yards and creek sides, and we'll be looking at some specific areas.
The search for Gonzalez will take place this Saturday at 8 a.m. However, volunteers are not needed. For Mountaintop News, I'm Joel Cordial.